Hey everybody, welcome to the Creativity Cave, and look at this adorable little box ornament treat holder that I have created. It is so stinking cute and I can't wait to show you how easy it is to create. So let me show you how I did that. First of all, I'm using the Hearts Come Home stamp set and coordinating framelits. I'm also using one of our clear tiny treat boxes. These are 2 by 2 inch square clear boxes. You can see they come with like a film on them to protect the box, so make sure you take that off. And then of course you're just going to assemble this by I like to just fold on the score lines of the box. And then what I love about this is, of course, this is an ornament, but you can put a cute little treat in there. You could use this as like an advent calendar. There's a lot of possibilities. Now, to make the bottom of the box, you're going to put the biggest piece, which has that kind of thing going out of it. Put that down first. Then you're going to fold the two sides and they tuck right in, but again, make sure you crease on those lines. And then the last piece is that one, and then it just fits inside. It's pretty easy. Okay, so I'm going to start by opening this back up because we need to fill this. So first of all, I'm going to put a piece of Whisper White cardstock at the very bottom. This just covers it up and makes it pretty. I'm also going to put a couple glue dots on here. They don't have to be perfect, but it will just kind of hold everything in place. Okay, so there is the bottom of my box, just so it's cute. Okay, then as you can see, I have this adorable little scene that is die cut out of the little edgelets that coordinate with the stamp set. So I just took a 2 by, I don't even know, this is probably a little, not quite 2 inch or 4 inches long. I'll have the exact measurements in the directions on my blog, so you can check out the link. It's in the description of this video for all those details. But you can see I die cut this edgelet. I'm just going to snip off that last little bit. Okay, and there we go. And we'll just get these little windows and the doorknob out. Okay, now what I want to do is score this just under here a little bit so that it will show through, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So I want it to be, like 1.25 inches. That's kind of the last line here on my trimmer, and I'm just scoring that, and that might sound a little odd, but it'll make sense here in a second. We'll fold on that line, and then what this does is it sets it back in my box so it's not right at the front. Okay, now I also have a 2-inch square, and we might need to just trim a little bit off of this for the background. And again, that will just sit in our box and it'll be cute. Okay, now what this also does is it allows for kind of a chamber in the back of the box for a treat so that you can stick something in there. Okay, next what I'm going to do is color this up. So let me grab a scrap of paper to protect my work surface. I'm going to use our new Stampin' Blends to color because I love them and they do a great job of coloring. I learned a couple things. If you look closely, you notice that the face on my snowman is a little gray. I tried to erase the 2 dots that I put in there for eyes. That did not work. So we'll do this again. Now, one thing with Stampin' Blends is they can bleed just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just color kind of right up to the very brim of his hat. And I probably could go just a touch further, but I don't, because if it bleeds at all, I don't want it to bleed too far. Now we're going to skip the eyeballs on this one, so I think he'll look better. Okay, I'm also going to take and color the house red. And once again, I'm going to be careful of my lines. You can kind of see that I wasn't careful at all on the first one I did, and so it kind of looked terrible. But since this is movie quality, we're being more careful this time. All right, that looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good, so I'm happy with that. I did the door in gray. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Maybe we'll try a lighter gray. This is, oh no, that's crumb cake. We don't want that. Oh, this is the light gray. Oh no, it isn't. It's the dark gray. Oh my gosh. Smoky slate. It's the light one for the door. How's that? I am a professional despite what it looks like. Yeah, I like that a little better. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm going to do the trees. And I did do the trees in 2 colors, but I think I can kind of just do them in 1 color this time. I kind of like the look of the lighter color trees. One thing I did not do on my sample was color the trunks in with some brown. I actually am going to use the bronze marker for this and that fine tip to just do a little tree trunk on the 2 trees. And that looks pretty awesome. Okay, notice how I'm clicking these closed each time that I pull them out. Oh, so dang cute, isn't it? Okay, so next what we're going to do is I'm going to just kind of position this on here. I'm not ready to adhere anything quite yet, but I just want to position this here because what I'm going to do next is take a little bit of white ink and a couple of the images. There's little stars in the stamp set, so I'm going to take a couple of those and stamp some stars in the background of my pool party cardstock. So again, that was a 2-inch square, and I'm just stamping several stars up here. There's a little one, a little star, and a big star. So I'm just kind of filling that in. So cute. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to take some dimensionals and put these on the back. I'm going to put one on the house. This is a mini dimensional, by the way. One on the tree, and that probably is good. I can either use minis or switch to maxis, big ones, for the remainder. Oops. Got my little adhesive dots flying all over the place. So I've just got a couple of large dimensionals. We'll do one more just for safety's sake. And take the backings off of these, and then we're going to attach them to our little pool party square. So we'll just we just want the edges to line up nicely. And there we go. And now there's a little bit of space between, and I think that just gives it a little extra dimension, because this is kind of like a diorama box, I guess. Okay, now I do need to trim off just a skosh of this. Hold on one second. That way the box will close nicely. So the box is 2 inches square, but now we've taken up a little space with the cardstock and whatnot. So there we go. Now again, we could put some little candy pieces in the back, a little treat of some kind, whatever we want. It does not matter. But that is our sweet, sweet box. So I'm going to close this up. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to turn it around so that the flap doesn't get in the way. So this closing flap isn't going to be in the way of our cute little scene. Okay, so there's that. It's not lining up quite right. There we go. Now, to finish this off, a couple of things that I'm going to do. first off, I'm going to tie some ribbon around this, and I used 2 types of ribbon, but you can use 1. It doesn't matter. I'm just looking for where it went. I had it out. Ah, here we go. So I've got this white woven ribbon, I think is what it's called. Classic weave ribbon. And what I want is to have a loop up here and then wrap the rest around the box so it's cute. Okay. And so I'm kind of just going to make my loop and make sure I've got enough ribbon to go around. So that's kind of my measurement. It's not very scientific, about that much. I'd say that's probably 15 inches, but I'm not positive. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is actually put a little fast fuse on the ribbon. I actually found that to be quite effective. It's really sticky, which I, of course, like. I'm just going to adhere that to the ribbon, or to the box. Now I'm also just kind of positioning this so that I've got enough to go around the box like so, and I do. So then on this last about inch, I'll put some more fast fuse. That will hold everything in place for me on my box. So I'm just going to overlap that section of ribbon so you can see it's nice and neat and tidy, which is great. Okay. Now for the rest of this, I'm going to tie a bow right around here. And the nice part is that you can slip this off if you want to put a treat in there, or you can leave it on, but it will still work. So to do that, I'm going to use some of the Pool Party. Actually, this is Soft Sky, but it will coordinate close enough. This is also that finely woven ribbon, or whatever this is called. I can't remember. We have a finely woven ribbon and another something woven. I can't keep them straight. All right, so I just want enough of this so I can tie a bow. So I'll just cut off a hunk because that makes it a little easier. Now, the nice thing is you don't have to have this perfect because you can kind of slide it up and down on your loop. So it's okay if it's not perfect right off the bat. I'll tie this in a little bow. Now, one thing you could do that I am thinking about here as I'm tying this bow that I did not do is put a little wink of Stella on the roof of the house and the tree and the snowman. That totally would be an option. Okay, so I've got my bow on here. I'm going to kind of tighten up my ornament loop by just pulling it taut. And then I'll even my loops and trim off the excess. So I've got myself a cute little bow right like that. Now to finish this up, I'm just going to add a little sentiment piece that I'm going to stamp. Now I actually took a different stamp set. I've got a little scrap here of Whisper White cardstock from trimming down my stamps, or I'm sorry, my cardstock. And then it's just a leftover. And I have taken the stamp image, gosh, looking for where I put it because I just had it here. As always, I always just have it. Oh, it's just on the other end of my table. So the Season's Greetings is from the Year of, or Cheers to the Year stamp set. I just love the font that this is in. So I chose to use that. I'm going to stamp it in Pool Party ink and then add a little shimmer to it. Okay. My trimmer was on top of my Pool Party ink pad. Okay. So to stamp I'm just going to stamp this. And it just fits. So I'll take and punch the end with my triple banner punch, because you know I use that punch all the time. Woo! I just dropped it now. All right, so there's that. And then I will take and do a little sliver of glimmer paper, which I will also punch. Oops, wrong punch. Oh yeah, that's right, I dropped it. So I've got just a little sliver of silver glimmer paper, and I'm just going to punch the ends with my triple banner punch. And then I'll just trim this in half and then have a little piece sticking out each end of my cute little banner here. And actually, I do want to measure that. Oh, that's pretty good. It's a little longer than my sample, but that's okay. So I'll just add that little piece like so. And then we will add this to our project with some dimensionals. I have the mini ones out, but regular ones would fit for this too. It doesn't matter. I like the minis on those teeny little pieces because they're just a little easier. Okay, so I'll set this right down here like so. And oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh. Okay, so now you might notice that there's a little gap. If you don't plan to put a treat in here and want it to just hold on to the box a little tighter, you can put a glue dot down. That's actually what I did on this one. You can see it's just holding everything in place so that it doesn't move around on you. But if you want a treat in here, I would not put the glue dot down. Okay, now let me show you. I also can make a cute little coordinating tag with this stamp set. So I took a 2 by 4 1/4 inch piece of soft sky paper, just because that was handy. And then there's this little tag topper die piece in the framelits, excuse me, that cuts the tag top. Isn't that adorable? It's a little heart for the hole. And then I also cut just a little strip with a house and a tree that I'm going to adhere to this. I actually cut the next one, the next house off a little bit just because I wanted to mount it to this card. So I'm going to put a little adhesive on here. And I also can tell that my tree is a little crooked, or my house is a little crooked. So I want it to be straight on my tag. So I'm just going to scooch it over slightly, and then I'm going to trim the excess off on my tag here. Okay, and I just straightened it out ever so slightly. So there we go. Now, I also wanted to color my tree in because I think that would be cute. So to do that, I'm just you can see I slipped it over my scrap paper. And I will just color my tree like so with my blends. I love this because the lines don't really show up. It will dry nice and even, which is perfect. And then I think I'm going to actually leave the house as is, but let's add some of that Winkostella this time. So I'll just put some going along the kind of snowbank. So cute. And then I think some on the rooftop. Like so. So now it's a little shimmery and cute. Okay, now the last thing that we can do to this is add Season's Greetings, or we can stick with, I think, let's see, Merry and Bright would fit on there. We could probably do that. I might not. Oh, I do have that. I was going to say that could be in my classroom area. I'm going to stamp Merry and Bright in white ink on here. And look at how cute that is for a little gift tag. Now to finish this off, I'll take and tie some, I think I'm going to go with Whisper White baker's twine, which I have right here. Ooh, maybe black and white might be kind of cute, actually. Why don't we try that? So I'll just take a little length of this, put the end through here, and then I'm going to tie a little knot. Ooh, and I just thought of one more thing, one more detail I needed to do on here. So Merry and Bright is so cute, but you know what else this needs? Oh, I don't have it. Darn it. Hold on. Okay, the last little touch I'm going to use is with my cookie cutter Christmas. There's a little heart on here. You might have a heart from a different punch that you can use. For instance, if you have the owl punch, there was a heart in that. And I'm just going to take this and put it over the door with a glue dot, just to add a little something sweet on this tag. Now these tags are so easy to create. Again, you just need a 2-inch wide strip. And look at that. So cute. I know the Merry and Bright is kind of light, but I wonder, we might be able to emboss it still. Hold on, let's give it a shot. I've got my white embossing powder. Ooh, it stuck. It was still wet enough to stick. So we'll emboss that. It's almost never too late. You can see that makes the sentiment much easier to see when you emboss it with some white embossing powder. There we go. So I hope you loved my projects today. Again, all the details are on my blog, and I actually have an online class for this cute little stamp set, so check that out. The link is also in the description of this video. Thanks for stamping with me today, guys. Bye-bye.